This is 5 on your side at 6, focused on you.
Caught on camera, video showing a thief stealing a catalytic converter in the middle of the day in a grocery store parking lot. Tonight, a closer look at the brazen crime and what's being done to stop similar thefts. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. 5 on your side's Ryan Henson is live at the Schnucks on Loughborough in South St. Louis. Ryan?
And Mike and Ann, more than 200,000 people have now watched this viral video. And SLMPD says it is uncommon for someone to steal a catalytic converter from a crowded parking lot like this. They also say it's concerning. A catalytic converter crook caught in the act. The driver of this gray SUV says she ran it to the Schnucks at 55 in Loughborough for a few minutes. In that time, a man slid underneath her vehicle, cut out the catalytic converter, and escaped in his maroon SUV as witnesses recorded and watched in awe.
People are out of work over it. They can't drive their cars. They're losing a whole lot more than people realize. And a thief's not going to care. You can tell as soon as they pull on the lot how loud it is.
Eric James says a car pulls into his St. Louis Hills auto service lot every other day without a catalytic converter. They take about a day and roughly $1,000 to replace.
Platinum, rhodium, and palladium. If you break them down, that's where the money's at.
SLMPD says there is another rising trend. Auto shops and drivers taking extra precautions to protect property.
I've been welding rebar on them. We've been welding cages around them. It definitely deters them. If they want it, they're going to get it, but it will slow you down or maybe make you second guess that car.
James says other people spray paint or engrave markings on converters, but not every method works.
You can see they spray painted it, but you can grind that stuff right off. This one had a cable attached to it that they just cut right through that.
James says these thefts have always been an issue, but more efforts are needed to slow the spike that's been growing in recent years. Now, drivers beware. Mechanics say a lot of times when these thieves steal catalytic converters, they cause additional damage to other parts of the vehicle, which of course means it's going to cost more to replace. SLMPD says they're investigating. I'm Ryan Henson, 5 on your side.
Now to an update on a story we've been following in St. Charles. Just hours ago, the Environmental Protection Agency announced that Ameren, Missouri is the source of water contamination in St. Charles. The city has shut down 5 of its 7 drinking water wells. According to the EPA, the contamination originated at the Huster Road substation. Ameren issued a statement agreeing the site would be cleared of cleaning solvents used decades ago. Ameren hopes to have the cleanup completed by March. You can read the full report and Ameren's full response on KSK.com. Look for this story in the top news section.
Breaking tonight, a whistleblower at Washington University's Transgender Center is raising warnings about medical ethics and safety standards she observed at St. Louis Children's Hospital. St. Louis native Jamie Reed is a queer woman who says in an article she, quote, thought she was saving trans kids. Now she's calling for more scrutiny around puberty blockers and hormone chemicals often prescribed to children in gender transition procedures. Missouri's Attorney General Andrew Bailey has launched an investigation. Senator Josh Hawley is calling for a federal probe into the matter. In the last hour, Washington University emailed a statement that reads in part, "We are taking this matter very seriously and have already begun the process of looking into the situation to ascertain the facts. As always, our highest priority is the health and well-being of our patients." Tonight, support is pouring in for the families of 3 teens killed in a crash in Lincoln County this past weekend. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings shows us how the community is coming together.
It's amazing how people come together.
The long list of names on the back of the shirt Jordan Reichert is wearing is a reflection of the overwhelming amount of support she's received for her nephew, Caden Tyler.
It is amazing to finally have the shirts and to know that we're going to be getting them to people and people can wear this shirt and honor Caden's memory.
15-year-old Tyler, 18-year-old Will Flickinger, and 17-year-old Emily McNeese all died in a car crash just before 4:30 Sunday morning. Police say the car was going too fast and went airborne, crashing into a tree on South Chantilly Road in Lincoln County. Community members across the area are teaming up to help, like Moody Marketing on Main, helping Reichert with shirts to sell and collecting money for funeral costs. Another apparel company down the way is doing the same for McNeese's family. This nonprofit boutique is going above and beyond to eliminate the burden on the friends that these young people leave behind. For example, they're offering up these clothes free of charge that they can wear to their funeral services.
Well, we've just been pulling more than normal dress slacks, dress shirts, dresses, and making sure that the shelves are stocked for these students to come in.
Budget Boutique is partnering with Earthwise Industries, which gives people with disabilities a job to help out.
Knowing that families had to cope with this, it was very disheartening, and we knew that we needed to do something.
Brittany Selders hopped in to raise money for Will Flickinger, who didn't have much family around.
All the other kids, their names are going to be engraved somewhere, and Will's needed to be as well.
A community at work.
And they are making sure that every kid is remembered.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
We have links to pages to support the victims inside the story at KSTK.com. A memorial lantern release is scheduled for 6 p.m. Sunday at Fairgrounds Park in Troy, Missouri to honor them.
New details tonight about a woman who threatened and harassed a Latino family in South St. Louis. A family member who reached thousands of people through a viral TikTok is now finally seeing some reaction. We have 2 reports tonight. Let's begin with Justina Cornell. She joins us in studio with the latest on this case. Justina, what are the new details?
Yeah, and so we've learned the suspect, Judy Klein, used to live in that home about 20 years ago. While this incident seems random to the Suarez family, we were able to find a connection. Now, just 24 hours ago, Klein was charged with 3 felony counts. Now, burglary, property damage, and unlawful use of a weapon. The charges stem from an incident in January of 2022. Fatima Suarez says this woman has been coming to her parents' house for a year, saying racial slurs and even hammering their door. Suarez tells 5 on your side she didn't see action on criminal charges for months. That's why she took to social media. Now, as far as the suspect, court filings show Klein was placed under a guardianship about 11 years ago. Dr. Bart Andrews with Behavioral Health Response says usually this is an extreme effort by the courts.
So if someone has been placed under guardianship, there's been multiple hearings around that, and there's an ongoing evaluation of that a person's ability to care for themselves. There's a good indication they probably have a very significant health condition or a chronic and persistent mental illness that impacts their ability to make decisions and take care of themselves.
Now, we're told Klein is not in custody. Suarez tells us that an attorney with the circuit's attorney's office tells her that Klein is at a hospital for psychiatric treatment.
Justina, thanks. This case also put the spotlight on thousands of cases that have backed up at the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office. The I-Team's Christine Byers obtained a database of those cases, and she's here to tell us more about the types of cases that essentially are in limbo and what the police department is doing about that. Christine.
That's right, Mike. A police spokesperson tells me there are 4,100 cases in this database. The Circuit Attorney's Office says the records it keeps shows the cases are closer to 3,000.
I've reviewed the database, which included Judy Klein's arrest for first-degree burglary in January. There were about 40 other first-degree burglary cases. More than 1,000 drug cases dating to 2020 make up the largest chunk. Auto crimes, including theft and break-ins, are a close second. Hundreds of gun crimes are on the list, too. Police sources tell me part of the backlog has to do with COVID protocols Gardner's office instituted, which required officers to send emails to apply for charges instead of coming in person. That protocol is still in place.
Now, the St. Louis Police Department is undergoing a massive overhaul of those cases. According to internal emails obtained by the I-Team, every officer is now attaching every email they've sent to Gardner's office to their police reports. And they're going back 3 years. That's as far back as the database was designed to go. For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.